Berkeley. I am a teacher here at the 7th and 8th grade academy, and I will be one of your favorite math teachers, and if I'm not, I will be by the end of these YouTube videos. So today we're talking about turning fractions into decimals. This is probably one of the simplest things we're going to be talking about. So first things first, why do we care on how to turn fractions into decimals? Well, the reason why we should care is that anything that can be turned into a ratio, aka a fraction, is a rational number. And rational numbers are important to us because rational numbers can have multiple views and how they're looked at. So rational numbers can look like fractions, they can look like decimals, they can look like percents. And normally they can also be written into words very easily. So rational numbers have a lot of different faces. The way I like to talk about this is we as a person like to talk in different ways when we're talking to different people. So the way that you talk to your teachers is probably a different way than you talk to your friends, which is probably a different way than you talk to your mom, so on and so forth. So it's really important that we know that we as people might be a rational number, but they can look a little different depending on the context. So today we're talking about how to turn fractions into decimals, and I'll also go a step further talking about how to turn decimals into percents a little bit more, just so we know how to do this. All of these are examples of rational numbers. The only things that are not rational numbers are symbols or decimals that repeat on and on and on without any kind of repetition. So if we have 1/3, that would be 0.33333 repeating, but that can be written as a fraction, aka 1/3, whereas some random number like 1.7342187, like going on forever, isn't a rational number because we can't write it as a fraction because it never stops going. So here we're going to talk about how to turn these into decimals. So first things first, when we are dividing, we do nup and down. So nup and down literally means nup or numerator divided by, which is that fraction bar, down. So what we want to do is make sure that we are dividing that up number first. So nup divided by down. So, or your denominator. That fraction bar means division. We've said that a million times, but we're going to keep saying that because it's very important that we know that that's how we are going to be talking about it. So in this case, we have 2/5. So that means we would have 2 divided by 5. Notice how I'm just putting that fraction bar now. I'm not going to put that division symbol. So in my calculator, I would type 2, division symbol, 5, and I would get 0.4. It is very important that we have a 0 in front of that point. If you do not have a 0 in front of that point, that is a naked point, and we don't like naked points. Like we don't like naked numbers. So you need to have a 0 in the front, and you need to have some kind of whole number. So 0.4. Let's try 3/50. So here, nup and down, 3 divided by 50. So put 3 division sign 50 in your calculator. You're going to get 0.06. Try the next one. Pause the video in 3, 2, 1. You need to have the video paused. Try the next 3. Video paused. Try the next 3. Awesome. Thank you for pausing. So now let's do the next 3 together. I'm going to set them up first, and then we're going to do the division. So here I have 6/25, or 6 divided by 25. So 6 divided by 25. Remember, we read it from top to bottom. That's exactly what it means. Here we have the 5 on top, so it's 5 divided by 4. Here we have 7/250. That's how I'm going to do it in my calculator. So 6 divided by 25 is going to give me 0.24. I have 5 divided by 4. That's going to give me 1.25. Notice how I'm putting an equal sign because these are equal representations. We also have 7 divided by 250, and that's going to give me 0.028. Keep in mind, if there is a whole number in the front, like if this was 4 2/5, all I would do differently is instead of having a 0 in the front of that 0.4, I would include that 4 in the front. So that's going to be the buddy that goes along instead of the 0. Let's try a couple more. So we have this set here. I want you to pause the video in 3, 2, 1 and try these 5. I said pause. Try these 5. Okay. So we have 43 divided by 100. Remember reading up, down, from top to bottom like a normal piece of paper. That fraction bar means division. So 43 divided by 100, if we put it in our calculator, is 0.43. Again, top to bottom, 2 divided by 4, put that in our calculator. That's going to give you 0.5. 2 over 10, remember, top to bottom, 2 divided by 10, 0.2. 2 divided by 25, top to bottom, it's going to be 0. What, everybody? 0.08, good. And last one, 14 over 100, remember, top to bottom, 14 divided by 100, 0.14. This is how we turn fractions into decimals, and I hope this really does help. These are just called equal representations at this point because these mean the same thing. I will tell you, decimals are a lot easier to work with than fractions. So if you find yourself stuck working with your fractions, turn everything into a decimal. Something I've told all of my students is, remember when you are in the lunchroom talking about your crush, you're probably not going to say the same stuff as if you would if you were at a slumber party. So even though you're probably talking in fraction talk when you're at the cafeteria table, your truest self is going to come out when you are at your slumber party with your best friend talking about your crush and your feelings about your crush. So although these are the same and we're meaning the same thing, sometimes the decimals are a little less complex and we can be a little bit more honest about them. So with that being said, if you have any other questions, please reach out to your teacher and give this video a thumbs up if you would like more content like this. Thank you. Bye.